Hi class, Mrs. Matheson here. Welcome back to Unit 2, Notes 3, and we're going to be talking about equations of lines. Our learning target today is I can write the equation of a line given 2 points, a point and a slope, or slope and a y-intercept. Really what we're going to get down to with these notes is we're going to see what do you do when you're given those situations and how do you get that to an equation. So the first one we're going to talk about is slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Very familiar form for us. The m is our slope, and the b is our y-intercept. And the x and the y we don't plug anything in for. So if we look at our example, this graph right here, it says the graph for the line is 1/2 x plus 3. So this is our slope, and this is our y-intercept. We can see our y-intercept is here, crossed at 3. And our slope is given as a fraction. Our top number is our rise, so it says we rise up 1. And then our bottom number is run, so we run positive 2, up 1 over 2. We can also think about 1/2 slope is the same thing as negative 1 over negative 2. So we can go down 1 and to the left 2, down 1 and to the left 2. All right. The y-intercept for any graph is where the line crosses the y-axis. So for this example, it was 3. The x-intercept for any graph is where the line crosses the x-axis. And in here, we see that here at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Negative 6. Okay, so let's talk about what do you do when you're asked to write an equation with a slope and a y-intercept, and then to graph the line. Okay, well, when you're given a slope and a y-intercept, here's the steps we follow. Write the equation in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, we talked about that m is our slope, and our slope here is 3. Remember, we can think of 3 as 3 over 1, x, and then our y-intercept is negative 2. You can do plus 2, plus negative 2, or minus 2. So to graph it, we start with graphing our y-intercept at negative 2. And then we're going to use our slope to find the next points. Remember, 3 over 1. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Up 1, 2, 3, over 1. 1, 2, 3, over 1. And we can do that the whole graph. Or we can go negative 3 over negative 1. So down 3 and to the left 1. Down 3 to the left 1. And then last step is always to connect your points. This should be very familiar to us. We've seen a lot of this in algebra. So let's talk about, well, what do we do when we are writing the equation of a line with a slope of negative 3/4 and it passes through the point negative 4, 5? Okay, so here it says when we're given a slope and a point. A slope and a point. Okay, use your information to write your equation in y equals mx plus b form. Well, here we're missing our y-intercept, which is our b. We're missing that b. So to find the b, we're going to plug in the x and y value from the ordered pair given into the problem and solve. So here's our x and here's our y. So we have y equals negative 3/4 x plus b. Gotta find that b. So 5 is our y equals negative 3/4. Our x is 4, negative 4, plus b. So we have 5 equals, well, negative 3/4 times negative 4 turns into a positive 3 plus b. So our b must equal 2. So our equation of our line is y equals negative 3/4 x plus 2. So then let's go ahead and we're going to graph it. So now we have all the information we need, so we're going to graph it. Again, we're just going to start with our y-intercept, which is 2. And then we're going to do our slope. Negative 3, so down 3, and to the right 4 because it's a positive 4. Down 3, to the right 4 because it's positive. We could also think of negative 3/4 as the same thing as 3 over negative 4. So we could go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then to the left 4. Up 3 and to the left 4. All right, last step is don't forget to connect your line. If you don't connect those points, you haven't actually graphed the line. All right, let's talk about our next step. Well, what do we do when we're given 2 ordered pairs to do this? Okay, so we're going to use the slope formula to find the slope of the line. So remember, you have this in your notes, y2 minus y1. over x2 minus x1. This is a formula you should have memorized. So if we look at our points, we're going to just say x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, so let's plug that in. So we have negative 1 minus 3, y is on top, and negative 2 minus 0, x is on bottom. Negative 4 over negative 2, that's going to turn into a positive 2. Now it says follow the directions above or plug into point slope form. Point slope form is probably our least known form to us, so I'm actually going to go through our problem with point slope form. I really enjoy point slope form, and you're going to be asked to know some information about point slope form. Okay, so you're going to use a point and a slope. So let's use this point right here, and we're going to plug it in to our form. Now, this x and y that don't have anything with it, those ones never, ever, ever get anything plugged into them. So we're going to have y minus, well, our y1 was 3, so minus 3 equals our slope, which was 2, times x minus our x1, which was 0. So we're going to distribute. We still have y minus 3. Now we have 2x minus, well, 2 minus 0, or 2 times 0 turns into 0, so we don't need to worry about that. So let's add 3 to both sides. So we get y equals 2x plus 3. So there's our equation. Y equals 2x plus 3. Now we could have chosen our other point, negative 2, negative 1 to plug in, and we would have ended up with the same equation. All right, so we're going to start with our y-intercept of 3, right, and then our slope, remember we want to think about, is really 2 over 1. So we're going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. We can also go down 2 over 1. And we're going to the left when we go over. All right, so connect those, and we have our graph. Okay, so then the next one says, find the slope of the line that passes through the points negative 2, 6, and 5, 6. These ones are going to be a little bit different when you see the graph. Now we're going to do the same idea as the last problem. So we start with finding our slope. So we'll say x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, so 6 minus 6 over 5 minus negative 2. Don't forget, minus the negative turns into plus a positive. So we end up with 0 over 7. 0 is on top. Remember, if we have 0 on top, this turns into a 0 slope. All right? 0 on top is a 0 slope. So if we plug that into our equation, y equals 0x plus b, let's just plug in our first ordered pair, x1, y1. So we get 6 equals 0 times negative 2 plus b. This part's going to turn into 0, so 6 is our b. So our equation is actually going to be y equals 6. So when you have a graph that's just a y, we're going to go up to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and make our point, and it's going to be a horizontal line. So when we have a horizontal line, it's y equals b, or the y-intercept. Okay, so if you have a y equals, it's a horizontal line. All right, so that leaves 5 and 6 for us. We are going to talk about, I want you guys to go ahead and try 5. 5 is going to be very similar to 4. And then 6, you're going to be writing the equation. So find a slope and a y-intercept, and we'll see you